It comes down to this. We have finally arrived. It is time for our Stanley Cup Final matchup against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, it's been a few days in the making. Of course, that's mainly been due to me having a busier schedule than expected. We've kind of disguised that with cliffhangers, which, boy, you guys really don't like cliffhangers. Again, you shouldn't have let me know that, because I'm going to do that to you a lot more frequently now. But no, I'm just kidding. As far as like the last episode being just the Western Conference Final only, it was that or nothing. So, yeah, that's often the case. This series, I always do aim to make quite a bit of progress. I just haven't been able to do that over the past couple of days until now, until right now, until this very episode, because today we go through the Stanley Cup Final, although I have to admit, if it goes poorly, I might not go through the draft. I might be too heartbroken, so we'll see. My God, Tampa and Anaheim in the Stanley Cup Final, the Goon Squad have made it. We have arrived. But the question is, are we good enough? Of course, we took a look at their lineup in the last episode, but here's a quick little reminder for anybody who may have forgotten. I don't know what to expect in this episode. Is it too much to expect a win here? Are the Lightning just a step ahead? We'll find out. Game 1, let's go. No more wasting time. Let's get this over with. We have home ice advantage for the final. Let's hope that we can make the most of it. First period of game 1. And it's a goal apiece. Kilehoma and Horkoff with the goals. 19 shots to 8 in our favor. Yet we're tied. So that's a victory right there for the Lightning to not be trailing in this game so far. Second period. All right, that's okay. I honestly thought they scored 3 goals. Marty Dick gave us the lead. Earl Roach made it 3-1, only for Arturi Lehkonen to get a goal back. 31 shots to 17 in our favor. We are up 3-2 as we begin the third period of game 1. So early power play chance here. We're looking good. We would have been looking better with the goal there. I was going to say, so we're looking good. But then that power play didn't work out. We're halfway through the third period, though, so we are still looking halfway decent, maybe. 6 minutes left. An insurance goal would be nice. That's why. Yep. Oh, God, it was too good to be true. Kilehoma with the goal. And, of course, we're going to overtime in game 1. Because, of course, we are. As I always say, don't blink. You might miss it. Overtime here in game 1. Who's going to walk away with the victory? Oh, God, who's it going to be? Oh, my God, 9 minutes in. 10 minutes into the first overtime. We're almost on 50. Never mind, we are on 50, and it's Rafalski. 51 shots to 34. We blow a 3-1 lead and lose 4-3 in overtime. Rafalski, their first liner, gets the game-winning goal. Lehkonen with a 3.9, 48 saves for Gentile. I don't quite understand how he wasn't first star of the game. That is a very disappointing way to kick off this series. To have a 3-1 lead and then have that disappear to a 3-2 at the start of the third period and then to lose in overtime like that. Heartbreaking, and Tampa have still only suffered that one loss this postseason. Game 2, I'm not going to make any panic lineup changes unless this goes poorly, but we're going to keep the faith and we're going to say that it's going to be all right. First period of game 2, and that's a fine start. I'm not going to get too crazy or hyped up. It's a good start. We still have a long way to go, but Kaufman and Horkoff with the opening 2 goals of this game. We have a 2-0 lead at the end of the opening 20. Second period, we maintain that lead. Tampa now leading 23 shots to 19. But it's still a 2-0 lead on the board for the good guys. Third period here in game 2. Can we avoid disaster yet again and hold on to a lead this time out? That's not what we needed. Wong with the goal, the fourth liner, if I'm not mistaken, brings Tampa back to within one. Oh my God, come on. Brodin, you need to step it up. Those are 2 outside shots, and we are going into overtime again. Right. Game 2, we're already going to overtime. For the second time. That's another lead we let go of. I'm not too happy about. I don't understand it. I'm not too happy about, Brodin getting beat. You look at where the goals came from for Horkoff and particularly, and then of course Kaufman as well. Overtime. Here we go. Don't blink. You might miss it, or maybe not. 4 minutes in. We are still in this. Come on. Don't let 2 games slip through your fingertips. Let's go. We can win this. Foot, McDonald, anybody. McDonough, don't care. Just please, somebody, for the love of God, get a goal. We're going to double overtime. It's a near guarantee it will end before the 15-minute mark, so truly don't blink or you will miss it. Double overtime here in Game 2. And who's it going to be? Yeah, wow, it actually made it past the 5-minute mark, and we got the right result. Marty Dick gets the overtime winner. That is the first time in a while I've seen a double overtime game actually make it past the first 5 minutes. It didn't make it 6, though. Marty gets the overtime winner, the biggest goal of his career, the biggest goal you could argue in this series history, even more than the Game 7 overtime winner against the Avalanche, as we avoid falling down 2-0 and losing our home ice advantage for the moment. When this series is tied, we have life. Marcus Brodin, your first star with 40 saves. Chelios, a 2-assist night. And then, of course, Marty Dick getting the overtime winner. It's a best of 5 from here on out. The first 2 games go to overtime. We hand Tampa just their second loss of this postseason. 2 losses in 15 games. That is an unbelievable run. And that sets up Game 3 in Tampa. A crucial game, to say the least. First period. It's not the start we wanted. Tamara, the top liner, gets the opening goal. 9 shots to 7 in their favor. Again, Brodin getting beat from a very weird angle. I'm not too happy about it. Second period. Oh, God. Gagne makes it 2. We're out shooting them, but we are trailing in this game as we head into the third period. A comeback needs to be on the cards, or we're going to be down 2-1 in this series. We're struggling for shots. At least we were halfway through the third period. Power play chance. A goal here would be crucial, and then that happens. We don't score, and Wong does. Oh, my God. 4-0 final in Game 3. We follow up an overtime victory in Game 2 with an abysmal performance against Tampa. Gentile with the 31-save shutout. That was good enough to be the first star of the game. And that might just be the catalyst for me making lineup changes. We're at least going to take a look. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We are trailing in this series for the second time already. And honestly, admittedly, and unsurprisingly, I'm not too happy about it. So our top pairing is struggling for whatever reason. McMillan and Likens are killing it. So I'm actually going to drop Sebastian Kress to the third pairing, and we're going to play McDonough with Del Zotto. Because Rangers, right? Of course, McMillan, Likens will stay the same. I don't want to move them off the second pairing because they're doing very well there. So we have, we have good depth, we'll say. That third pairing is definitely not like a defined weakness now, but that needed to be changed. I'm going to have to look at our power play and our penalty kill, and you know what? I'll do that very quickly. Before looking at the forwards, we need to look at all possible options here as far as what we could alter to potentially turn this around for us. I'm not including team strategies because they're still pretty much as ideal as they're going to get for us. Yeah, we have a 9% power play. Our penalty kill is at, yeah, okay. So special teams flat out needs to be updated. Not good enough would be an understatement. That's how we were to define it. Again, we're only down 2-1, but we can't afford to wait for too long. So let me see. Let's work on the power play first. I'm just intrigued to see who has the most offensive awareness, really. I mean, you would think that team would be good enough. Maybe taking Roach off the power play, though? The funny thing is, he's better on paper than Zanetti. But of course, Zanetti has the 7 goals. I mean, Roach is decent. 4 goals, 11 assists. He might still be the best option. Aronson has better offensive awareness, but puck skills and shot goes to Roach. I guess it's just Wharton, and Wharton really doesn't have the offensive awareness. Yeah, I guess Roach is the best guy for that spot, which is kind of scary. And as far as the defense goes, I mean, to be honest, I'm okay with this. I didn't even realize Kress has a 5-star shot. His slap shot's pretty damn good. The problem is, though, they're all lefties. I want to take McMillan off of the power play. For sure. And then maybe... I'm trying to think here. I think I want to keep Likens. Let's bring on Zanetti. He might not even be the best option, but I want to bring on Zanetti. How many righties do we have? We only have 2 listed up righties, huh? And then 3 with Zanetti. I don't want to take Likens off the power play, but it would almost make sense to. You know, I'm going to swap those guys around. Let's go Kaufman on the right. Keep the 2 power plays the same. Give them similar looks. And I think, yeah, we'll go McDonough and Zanetti. Likens has a solid shot, but he's better with the puck, so... I'm thinking Foot, Graves, and do I want to go Horkoff or Kaufman? I'm going to go Kaufman. Likens, Kress. McDonough, Kress. Chelios, Roach, Horkoff, Likens, and Zanetti. No, I'm going to put Kress back up there. All right, so we'll hope that changes it up just a little bit. And then the penalty kill, to be honest, shouldn't be this poor. We have McDonald there for... the sake of morale. Let's see. So Wharton, Reefers, Foot, Marty. Wharton, Reefers. All right. So yeah, we got to put Nolan Foot on the PK. He has one of the best defensive ratings. So we'll go Wharton and Foot, Reefers, and Marty. Let's go McDonough. There we go. That works, and get our defensive pairings back. All right. So hopefully that helps. But then we need to look at the actual starting lines, where I'm still all right with the top line. Second line, I'm all right with Wharton having 7 assists, I guess. That third line's still done all right. I mean, the fourth line has still contributed here and there. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, these lines have shown that they're capable of putting up points the way they are. So maybe that's just the key. I won't change that up. We'll stick with just changing up the power play and the PK for the moment. If we lose this game, then obviously it's panic button and we change everything. So we've made some slight adjustments. The defensive pairing switch between the first and third pair, we have also slightly altered the power play and the penalty kill. Can that carry us to a victory in Game 4? It needs to, or we face a 3-1 series deficit and are nearly guaranteed to lose this series. So this is as must-win, almost as must-win as it gets. I mean, obviously it's not definitive. If we lose, we're not eliminated, but we're close. First period of Game 4, and that's a decent start. Marty Dick and Nolan Foot get 2 goals under a minute apart. Guy Bernier, I think it was, is able to get a goal back. So we have a 2-1 lead at the end of the first period, but we struck early. That's nice, especially after getting shut out in the previous game. Second period, that's not nice. Rafalski ties it. 22 shots to 17 in their favor as we begin the third period. It's all on the line here. Another 2-0 lead has evaporated. We are halfway through this third period, in desperate need of a goal. Make it 5 minutes remaining in regulation. The next goal will win this game, and for the third time in 4 games, we are going to overtime. Each team has a win in overtime thus far, and we need another one. 35 shots to 23 in their favor. Let's go. Overtime. Will it end early? Will we get the win? More importantly, power play chance for the Lightning is killed off. We're 9 minutes or so into the overtime. This is ridiculous, man. I'm stressing out. Oh my God. 5 minutes left in overtime. Are we going to double OT for the second time in this series? Yes, we are. Oh my God. Well, the same deal applies. And I know, maybe I should have had webcam for this. I get it, because trust me, right now you'd see me just literally sitting here, head in hands, just not even really able to look at the screen. Because maybe, just maybe, that would have added to it. But again, with the issues I had last time I tried to do webcam for this, I didn't want to risk it, because I don't want to re-record this. This is it. This is our one shot. Mom spaghetti. Double overtime. Will it end early as it typically does? Yes, it will. And Freddie, he got it. This series is tied again. Frederick frickin' McDonough has tied this series. Of all the times for the best draft pick in EA NHL history to score that goal, to score a goal, that was the time. Marcus Brodin, rightfully your first star of the game with a 38 save performance. It is a best of 3 from here on out. What an effort from Marcus Brodin to keep us in it. And what a goal from Frederick McDonough to tie this up. We have 2 wins, both a result of a 3-2 overtime victory. Both in double overtime, for that matter. Game 5, back on home ice. Game's kind of glitching out. Yep, game's still going to glitch out. Hate how it does that. Game 5. We have tied it up for the second time. We've trailed twice. We have yet to lead in this series. Can we change that in this game? First period of Game 5 is scoreless, 13 shots to 11 in our favor. Second period is not scoreless. Trent Chelios and Frederick McDonough. 2 goals from terrible angles. We are dead even in shots, but not even on the scoreboard. We have blown 2 goal leads in this series. On a couple of occasions, we've blown 3 goal leads. Let's shut this down. Hold on to this lead, and we will be 1 win away from a Stanley Cup. Third period. Come on now. Come on. We've blown leads too many times. Trading power play chances, and that equals out halfway through the third. Oh my God, Brodin, please, I am begging you, shut that door. Hold the door. Do what you have to do. The Anaheim Ducks are 1 win away from a Stanley Cup. The Goon Squad is 1 win away from a Stanley Cup. And people will say it's tainted because we've drafted some 2-ways. Oh my God. Marcus Brodin with a 35 save shutout. Chelios and McDonough with the goals have brought us to within 1 win. That's all we need. 1 more win, and we have 2 opportunities to do so. We are leading in this series for the first time. We're on the road in Tampa for Game 6. Can we get the job done? Let's find out. It all comes down to this. First period of Game 6 is scoreless. We nearly doubled them up in shots. That's a victory for the Lightning to have not surrendered a goal. Second period, Kaufman has the lone goal of the game. Another outside shot that went in. 25 shots to 18. We are 20 minutes away. 20 goddamn minutes away. Come on, man. Let's go. Third period, power play early on for the Lightning. It's a long power play. Now a 5-on-3 that is killed off. We have a quick power play chance of our own that also expires. We're halfway through the third period. Reefers with the goal. We're up 2-0. Oh my God. We are 4.5 minutes away. We are 4.5 minutes away from the Stanley Cup. I don't even know what jersey to wear. What jersey do we want to wear? Oh my God, those would be fantastic. Might I say, I do prefer the slightly old version. You know what, let's just go with that. I don't care, whatever. I'm wasting time. Oh, I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time. Holy shit. Holy shit. This might happen. How many seasons are we in? Like, are we going to win this sooner than we did in the original Draft to Glory run? That's my question. Like, comparatively, has this taken more seasons? I know there's still 4.5 to go. Connor McDavid's ruined my life before. So it's not over yet. But imagine if somehow, even with the Goon Squad threat, that we win this, you know, sooner. Oh my God, cut in front. Big save by Gentile. Imagine if we somehow win this sooner than the original Draft to Glory team. Frank Kaufman has led these playoffs in points. Unbelievable. It's top line versus top line. In Tampa, of course. And it's a defensive zone draw win for the Lightning. Rafalski through the neutral zone over the blue line. Back to Tamara. It's Gyurtsen. Quick give and go. Pass to the point. Spalling for Ristolainen. One-timer, and it's a big glove save from Brodin. He looked to pass it out, but there was a little bit of miscommunication, and he's forced to cover. 2:26 remaining. And there it is. I will never get tired of this cutscene because the only times we've really ever seen it are when we're about to win as opposed to when we're about to lose. Oh my God. The Goon Squad. We are so close. 2:26 remaining. Second line versus top line. Chelios, Wharton, and Horkoff. And Wharton wins the draw. Del Zotto nearly turns it over. Wharton's able to make the most of it. Quick give and go. It's Wharton again across the blue line for Horkoff. Quick pass for Chelios. And he is denied by Gentile. Tampa having trouble breaking out. It's Matthew Barzal. Over the blue line, Tampa pulls the goalie with a minute to go. Del Zotto around the back of the net looking for space. He finds Chelios. Chelios for Wharton. He dumps it in. Goaltender was returned. Spalling having trouble. He gets leveled. That's going to be a penalty. The Lightning will have a late power play chance here. Still down by 2. Clock is running. Kilehoma carries in. Looks for the pass to the point. It finds its way out of the zone. I was wondering what the hell that prompt was. That was weird. 30 seconds to go. That's all right. Stay focused. The Ducks still haven't gotten possession. Chance in front. Saved by Brodin. And finally, play is stopped. 24.7 remaining. Horkoff to the bench, to the box. Take a seat for that charge. To be honest, I thought it was a fine hit, but this game doesn't really much care for logic, now does it? Empty net for the Lightning, 6-on-4. Second unit versus second unit. It's Dick and Reefers on the kill. Face-off won by Tampa. Quick chance here for Rafalski. Save by Brodin. And the puck is cleared. 17 to go. Oh my God. Chen gets destroyed. That's going to be another penalty. It's going to be a 6-on-3 with 11.6 to go as Marty Dick takes the penalty. Now that I can certainly see as a pen. He's lucky he didn't get ejected from the game. Again, the empty net. Tamara, Barzal, and Gertzen out there against the Reefers as far as forwards are concerned. Face off one. Ristolainen shot is denied. 8 seconds remaining. The battle. Likens looking for it. 3 seconds left. One-timer goes wide. The Goon Squad. We've done it. The Goon Squad has won a Stanley Cup. Oh my God. A team of power forwards, grinders, and defensive defensemen have won a Stanley Cup. Built from the ground up. From a team of the worst players in the game, we have built this squad up. And after getting so close to just getting to this point, we finally made it. And on our first attempt, our first visit to the final, we were successful. Oh my God. I'm nearly speechless. I cannot believe this team has done it. We trailed 2 times in this series, only to take the lead in Game 5 and win it all in Game 6. Draft the Glory Goon Squad. Mission accomplished. Marcus Brodin with a .939 save percentage is your Conn Smythe winner, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. Look at Wharton with Commodore hair, and there it is. This one means more. I don't know if it means more than some of the other cups we've won in some other series. No spoiler alerts there. You should totally watch every other series I've done. Thank you, please. Anyway. Oh my God. Stanley Cup is ours. Anderson McDonald, from our first draft year, will raise the cup. One of the originals. He hung around. Oh my God, he hung around when the likes of Connor Roberts could not. Anderson McDonald raises the cup. The Goon Squad has done it. Who knows who the hell this is? It's a Ronson. Ronson gets the cup second. I know it's always random order, but I'm always intrigued to see who gets it. Up next, is that Finley? It's Roach. All right. I was going to say, I'm just taking guesses here. I was looking at the number, and I'm like, is that Finley's number? Because I remember vaguely looking at the numbers. Look at Earl Roach. Yeah, I mean, you know what? In fairness, you had a decent postseason, so that's fine. Take your time. Take your time. Oh, my God, guys. I cannot believe that this happened. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, this team's decent on paper as Marcus Brodin, the missing link in the Sweden Nation United, leads us to victory here. The Goon Squad has done it. We have a Stanley Cup on the record. That is a picture I wasn't sure I would see when we began this series. A 31 save shutout for Marcus Brodin. And the Goon Squad are champions. Like, that's the thing. I wish I was, actually good at, like, over the top, just flippant, obnoxious reactions. I'm not, and for 2 reasons. 1, because it's just not my personality, but 2, that wouldn't fit. Like, that would not fit what just happened. Like, the over-the-top, throwing the chair, jumping around a room, acting like I'm excited. Like, that doesn't fit. I genuinely cannot believe that just happened. That this team was able to get the job done. Now, it's obviously a decent team. And we've seen teams weaker than this on paper succeed, but still, all power forwards, grinders, and defensive D-men And we accomplished our goal. That is unbelievable. Let's take a look here. Kaufman, 20 points in 24 games, a plus 14. Graves with 17 points. He had 9 goals, which led the team. Earl Roach had 16 points, the 14 for Foot, 12 for Chelios, Aronson, and Reefers. Marty with 10. Horkoff with 9. Zanetti really quieted down. Wharton was pretty disappointing on the second line, but you guys get a look at the stats here. Regardless, a combined 9 points out of our defensemen because they're all defensive D-men. We still got it done. And we mainly have this man to thank, who apparently had a 941 actually, so thanks for that game. Marcus Brodin, 5 shutouts in 24 games. He was pulled once because LaPointe obviously made an appearance. The former 3rd overall pick in 2021 gets the job done. And we have a Stanley Cup on our record. Now, we can't look at the awards just yet because the Calder Cup is not over with, but looking back at our journey, beating Nashville in 6 in the first round, beating Vegas in 5, Colorado in 7, and then Tampa in 6. Again, Tampa swept the Bruins, beat Ottawa in 5, and then swept Buffalo on their way to the final. And we were able to outlast them. It's insane to think that this team just pulled this off as the Stockton Heat won the Calder Cup. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, that's who we lost to in the first round with the Gulls. So at least there's some understanding that we lost to a really good team. But there it is. There it is. Again, I wasn't sure if we'd see it, but it happened. McDavid won the Art Ross. Alexis Gravel won the Hart. That's ridiculous. Thomas Chabot, the Norris. McDavid, the Lady Byng. Fernandez in Boston won the Calder. Brodin wins the Conn Smythe. The Vezina went to Gravel, as did the Jennings. Toskala won the Masterton. McDavid, the Selke. Gravel, the Ted Lindsay. And Pusher with the Rocket Richard. So aside from the Conn Smythe, we didn't take home any other hardware aside, from, of course, from the one trophy that actually matters. We had no hardware down in the AHL either, despite a fairly tremendous season. I guess aside from winning the Western Conference and the Pacific Division. We won the Stanley Cup. My God, that is unreal. That is absolutely crazy to think that this team actually got the job done. And like I mentioned, the journey doesn't stop. We see if this turns into a dynasty. As, of course, some of these numbers, like Brodin currently playing like a 93, you know me, I pay attention to the natural growth. So Marty Dick is at the very least an 81 overall, which is very solid. Del Zotto's up to an 82. No other real growth. Nesterov's up to a 79, which isn't too bad. Of course, there were some improvements, but no other greens. Down in the AHL, we have Sivan up to a 77. Nesterov also up to a 77. And Isbister up to a 55. So, for the most part, a lot of these players have kind of plateaued. Obviously, someone like Justice and Roberts, who are both 30 at this point. Burnett, who is 27. It's a very weird spot to be in. And of course, someone like Anderson McDonald. As I mentioned, he was a part. He, Justice, Connor Roberts were all a part of that first-year draft class. And they're all still, at the very least, on the team. McDonald, the only one on the NHL roster. We named him captain due to him being the longest-serving member of this squad. And there you go. No lottery pick for us, of course. That is unreal. I cannot believe this team pulled it together, especially when we were trailing twice in that series. I thought we were done for. 1,000% I thought we were done for, as you got to look at some of the players who have retired. Thankfully, nobody from the squad has left. Tarasenko finishes with just over 1,300 career points. That is ridiculous. Oh my god, now I don't even know if it feels right to go through a draft and set the team up for next year. It almost doesn't even feel right. And it's exactly what we're going to do. But it almost feels strange to just be like, okay, we won, now back to the grind. But that's the way it is. As there were no true, I mean, we got some solid potentials, but no, ridiculously strong players, at least from the get-go in this draft. As we'll take a look here at who's available. That goalie is obviously quite high on the list for me, as is that one, and we'll even take a look at that one in a moment. Oh boy, well actually, you know what, I'll just remember that they're there, because we have this grinder, Sami Juntunen? 20 years old, high league interest. Sam Hawley, 20 years old, with high league interest. This defensive D-man, I don't know, man, the skating. Ooh, the skating. He might be the guy. Ruslan Afanasenkov, 68 deking. He might be decent. Who else do we have here? More goaltenders to choose from. We have this power forward, Jody Pandolfo, that we know nothing about. This defensive D-man in Maldine. Anybody else? Anybody else? Just kind of looking here. Let's see, we got this high starter, Valeri Tulipov. Another option. I know this exact playmaker's there. I'm not taking him though. Not happening. We have Neil Alos, 20 years old, high league interest. We got another exact playmaker. My God, he's looking actually pretty decent. We got a minute and a half here, and then we got this grinder. So there are some solid options here. I do want to sort by potential just to get a look at the landscape. Unfortunately, unless I go with Maxim Semin, I'm not getting anybody with exact potential. And Gordy Lewis, I doubt he's that good. Like, there's no way. There's no way. So the question is, do I go with the goaltender? I believe Laxo is the top one projected. Do we go with Laxo or Afanasenkov? Do we try to find Brodin's potential replacement down the line right now with Laxo? Or do we go with Afanasenkov? And I think because of the skating, because of the speed, I have to go for Afanasenkov. How old's Brodin at this point? And yes, I'm going to use my timeout in the first round. How old is Marcus Brodin? Because there's not that extreme pressure to find his replacement immediately. He is 27 years old. Yeah, there's no need to really find that immediate replacement. I'm going for the defenseman. Not that we have an extreme need for defense either. I'm going for the Russian Ruslan Afanasenkov with this pick. Will I regret it? Let's find out. Not really. Medium top four, 68 overall. I will take it. He's actually not as high of an overall as I would have thought. The good news is he's only 19. So his skating is already pretty solid though. Not too shabby. I'll be intrigued to see. I'm sure that goalie was medium elite. The question is whether or not... we actually have an extra second round pick. The question is, Juntunen would have been actually a decent pick, really, if you think about it. It's actually solid for a grinder. Laxo was only medium starter, 55. All right, we dodged a bullet. Hawley would have also been a really solid pick. And I'm just seeing here other players that I was considering. Soderstrom was the guy. I don't know if I would have taken Soderstrom. I think I would have gone with Laxo there. So we made the right choice. Now the question is who to go for next. Because there is another goaltender in that range with Tulipov. Question is he actually medium elite? Or would I rather put more faith in like a Yves Laperriere to be that guy that we're hoping for? We got, again, this power forward, Jody Pandolfo. We got Maldine. We have the goaltenders. This guy, Corey Russell, I'm going to avoid. I think from this point on in the series, I'm going to go pretty strict with only selecting players of that player type. Even though, I mean, geez, you know, the one reason why I was so kind of lenient, if, you know, a player height and weight-wise fit the bill, is because we've had snipers who develop better as two-ways. So, it's not exactly a perfect science. So, let's see, we got Polasek, we got the power forward and Alos, the defensive D-man and Maldine, Pandolfo. I might just take the risk on Pandolfo. I like Tulipov, but I'm going to go for Jody Pandolfo with this pick. And it was a good risk. It was a very good risk. Medium elite. However, he's 20 years old and only a 62. So while he's going to be good from a trade value perspective, there really is no guarantee that he develops. But that'll be one to keep an eye out on as to whether or not Pandolfo actually develops. But I will never complain about taking a medium elite, especially when Toronto, just a few picks later, took a medium 7th. LaPierre was medium starter. I still have a chance. How many second-round picks do I have? Jesus Christ. When did that happen? Now, is that going to feel like too much? Maybe. We might have to go back to just all for 7ths, but goddamn. Well, I mean, I might as well take the risk on Tulipov now. I got a good forward and a good defenseman added to the group, so I'm going to go for Valeri Tulipov here. And another medium starter, 53 overall. All right, so not tremendous. Not tremendous. Canzanello was actually better. So, all right, we took the risk on the goalie. Made sense, too. Didn't work out. That's okay. I mean, it's not like it was an awful pick, so I'm feeling good. The question is, who is left? Is there like a can't-miss player here? Like this defensive D-man, 19 years old, no league interest. I don't have any exacts, and the few greens, like the 85 shot blocking is promising. But that's not really a guarantee. It's not a guarantee at all, actually. You got Nicholas in the 7th round. Exact top 9s. Let's look at this grinder. High top 9, no real attributes to go off of. We have this grinder as well, Polasek. Either or. And yeah, then we got a bunch of players that I might not have info on. I want to look at times scouted. I want to see who we actually have info on. Oh boy, a whole bunch of nothings. That's the answer. We have info on a whole bunch of nobodies. So that's good. Got this exact top 6. That guy might actually have a decent starting potential. He might be worth taking later on in the draft. That exact top 6. What about this guy? 81 stick checking. That guy could actually be half decent. He could be pretty good. Fit the 6th though. All right, you know what? Let's go back to projected. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on players later on in the draft. But for now, it's either Maldine, Alos, Polasek. And then 3rd round, you got Gentile, who was kind of garbage. What else do we got? We got Solnishkin. Either or. No real info on him, though. Could be half decent. I know I'm running low on time here, too. Gabrielle John Lall. That's always great. Anybody else? There's power forward here in Emmerich. Travis Emmerich. Power forward in Owen Barry that we know nothing about. All right. Yeah, I think the pick here is going to be... damn, this one's tough, actually. I'm going to go for Alos, just because he's 20, and we're going to hope for the best. And it worked out. I literally took him just because he was 20. Medium top 6, 64 overall. So whether or not he pans out as well, we'll see. But I'd say so far, so good. We're 4 for 4 in this draft. And of course, you know, it helps that I have, you know, all these extra picks, obviously. I think next year I'll probably just go back. Wow, 3 medium elites in a row. Holy shit. I think some of them are better than the guys selected top 5. I think next year we'll go back to the 7th idea. I mean, obviously this was the first year that I had to actually get rid of people that had some value. You know, so I mean, that's obviously the reason we went for it that way. I'll take Polasek here. I'm hoping at least medium top 9. That's it. Maybe low top 6. Medium top 6. Jesus, we can do no wrong in today's episode. He's only a 52, though. So, 4th line at best. However, he's 18, so he has time. He has time. All right, that's not completely terrible. He has time to get better. This has been a pretty damn decent draft for us. It was a good year to get rid of some of those higher value players and to bring in these extra picks. That is for sure. Who else do we have available to us here? We have this goaltender, Mikhail Malakoff. No, thank you. Manny Lashoff would be just kind of a shot-in-the-dark pick. We have Gordy Lewis. 85 shot blocking, though. Whereabouts? That does intrigue me, I must admit. 75 offensive awareness for Fred Regier. Anybody else? Adrian Estrada. I mean, he would just be a total shot-in-the-dark pick. Didn't mean to hit back twice. He had low league interest, did he not? Let's double-check that. I believe he had low league interest. See, 19 years old, low league interest, right. 4th to 5th round, anybody else here? We got another grinder, Colton Healy. All right. So with this pick, I'm thinking the best guy to go for. Do we take the risk on Lashoff or Lewis? I'm going to go for Lashoff because the last time we took a low top 9 guy, it worked out pretty well. But the 85 shot blocking for Lewis. I have a feeling we might be missing out on something. I'm going for Lashoff, and he is not good. He's our first miss of this draft. Low top 9, only a 56. All right, so we took the risk there. It didn't quite work. I do want to see, as Healy was medium bottom 6. Oh, let's see. Regier wasn't great. Estrada. Estrada was the pick. Medium top 4, 65 overall. Obviously, there have been some other players that were selected. I'm only looking for the guys that were eligible for me to draft. Lewis, medium top 4, 60 overall. All right, so there were 2 players better on the table that we missed out on. But you could argue that's really the first time we've missed out. Or maybe the goaltender as well. But I certainly have no complaints about this draft right now. Let's see, Prince, 18, only 1 green. Marcus Zetterberg, 19, no greens. Oh, Johnny Eddy, great name. He'd be a shot-in-the-dark pick. Abraham Hobbs would also be a shot-in-the-dark pick. We have this grinder, Vladimir Leeson. Tony Kulkinen, 82 body checking. Having that high of body checking makes me wonder just how high his overall is going to be, because body checking and strength, along with defensive awareness, are 3 of the most, if not the most, heavily rated stats in terms, or instead of rated, heavily weighted stats in the game. George Boys, 17 years old, the power forward with no league interest. Anybody else here? Well, how good was Shishkinov? Not really, is the answer. I think we have a winner, and it's going to be Kulkinen or Julkinen for the only reason, that body checking. I want to see how good he is. So Julkinen is the pick. Medium top 6 potential. What's the overall? 63. Okay, so not bad for a 19-year-old, but not tremendous either. Decent enough pick. It's not like an AHL potential. It's not a complete swing and miss. I have 1 extra pick here in the 5th round. Man, we got a big return for some of these players. My God. I know we moved out a lot of guys, but still. So that leaves me with Leeson, Herme, Boys. Who else do we got? Petrovicki, Shishkinov. Moving into the 6th round, we have Cowan, Rory Cowan, defensive D-man Maxim Kolosov. We have Lasse Eskalainen, another Finnish defenseman. Duclair, 75-ish defensive awareness. It's not bad, but that physical category, if it's accurate and it's saying that it's going to be low, That could be one to avoid. Bobby Humphries. No real way to tell how good he is. And then we get into the 7th round. So there's really nobody listed there that I have a tremendous amount of confidence in. I want to see if I can find like that one player where I'm overly confident that they're going to be a bit of a steal. We could take the risk on Nicholas again. The overall is not going to be there, but the potential, you never know. We have Lyson again. Erskine. Lucas Erskine in the 7th round. Not enough greens to really make it worth it. What else do we got here? Jamez. Zach Jamez. I totally buy that. That's a name from someone from fucking Bosnia and Herzegovina. 1000%. Oh my god. Jack Cross. 6'6" power forward, 20 years old, no league interest. I think we just found my pick. That guy's a beast. We have Fallon, who is definitely going on the short list. We have De Silva, not as safe of a bet. I know what Fallon's potential was. I know it's locked in, but still. Duclair, 75-ish defensive awareness. We have Marco, who is 20 with no league interest. I'll remember that. Who else do we have? We have Justin Gilbert. No real safe bet. 71 strength was the only thing locked in. And then we have Humphrey. So I'm thinking, as my voice gives out, we're going to go for Marco after this pick. For now, we're going for Cross. Jack Cross, the 20-year-old power forward. Is he good? He's all right. Bang average. Medium top 9. 65 overall. Not bad. So that is as safe of a pick as you will find. Let's see. Shishkinov was... Boys or even Bois was half decent. But yeah, I'm feeling all right with that selection. Overall, this has been a very solid draft for us. Of course, at this point, it's so incredibly difficult to actually get into our lineup. I mean, really, we're only adding a couple of players each season that actually get to work, get to make progress into working their way into our lineup. Just because we have that little bit of a prospect factory going, just on a smaller scale. I'm going to go for Marco with this next pick. Patrick Marco from the Sioux Greyhounds. He is the pick, and he is also bang average, I'm going to guess. Medium top 6. What's the overall? 64. All right, so 2 straight bang average selections. I'm all right with it, especially considering, other teams getting medium top 9s. Bodine is decent. This has been a decent draft. Like McLeod selected there by Boston. Yeah, so we're doing all right. We're doing okay. What else do we have here? I'm going to keep going off of this list. Otherwise I just select players at random, right? So, Jamez, no league interest, 19 years old. That might work out. Lucas Erskine, not really sold on him. That would just kind of be a risk it pick. I am going to go for Fallon, though, although, you know what? No, I'm not. That overall is going to be low. That physical category is going to be hot garbage if the game's actually telling the truth for once, so that wouldn't be worth it. Justin Gilbert, again, the overall is going to be low. It's just a matter of what would the potential be. I don't know if I have faith in high top 6 to work out. We have Power Jensen. Not quite what we're looking for. How good is this grinder actually in Chow? Not great, at least from what we can tell. Reed Homer would be a complete shot in the dark. The dog's sneezing. It's adorable. 70 body checking, 76 acceleration. Kyle Sutton might be decent, but I got a feeling that overall is incredibly low. We'd really need that potential to pay off. And I don't think that's a safe bet. Thomas Nöbels. Andrew Beach. To be honest, the German might be worth picking. Maybe. I know he's high league interest at 20 years old, but considering we're not really finding... I actually know a Joe Wyman. That's kind of weird. Nobody called him Joey, though. Oh, boy. You know what? We're good. I think we're good. I'm going to take the risk on the German here. Just because. Why not? We're at that stage of the draft where it's worth going for risks. He was medium top 6. What was the overall? 61. All right. So, we're kind of getting the same level of players here. I mean, these are the type of players I'm talking about, where the odds that they actually break into our lineup are pretty slim. But if we can find that one steal, we might just have a chance. So, let's go with whoever the hell has no league interest. Pretty much whatever build we have, no league interest, 20 years old. That's what we're looking for. Actually, I'm going to sort it by potential first, because we're eventually going to run out of the projected zone, and that's not worth it. I know taking Maxim Semin might be worth it. I'm not going to do it. Fallon, again, just overall-wise, it's going to be incredibly low. So, let's see. Jensen's 18 with no league interest, but he might... You know what? Let's just go for Jensen. Let's risk it. Why not? Low top 656 overall. That's why. Because he's not good. That's all right, though. Final pick of the draft. Mr. Irrelevant. Who is it going to be? Who is it going to be? Only 2 players left to be only 2 players left as projected to be drafted. I phrased that terribly. Let's see. We have Beach, who was 17, no league interest. I am kind of intrigued by that. What else do we have here? Yeah, these high top 6s are the guys I wanted to look at. Power forward, Hugo Diamor. Right, Diamor. Melvin Paul. No, thank you. This grinder, Jaskalainen. Kind of just be a really risky bet. This grinder and Kapitanov would be a risky bet. Doug Inglis would be a risky pick. Roy Keeling. This power forward as well. Nicholas Olas. I want to look at this power forward. Sebastian Thalberger. The grinder and Grant McGillis. All right. Jason Camper. Thought it was going to be a Jesus. Jeremy Komisarek. How many other of these guys are kind of like in this bracket here? Jesus. Mark St. Denis. Another grinder and Stuart Kachuk. All right, there we go. So who's on the short list? Mr. Irrelevant. Who will it be? It's either going to be Beach or McGillis. Andrew Beach, the 17-year-old, or McGillis. I'm going to just say it's going to be Andrew Beach. Let's hope. Low top 452 overall. All right, well, them's the breaks. We'll never know. Unless he gets picked up by another team, what that grinder was, we'll never quite know. Overall, an eventful hour or so that we've spent here. So I'm trying to stretch and hold off yawning, but easier said than done. To call this eventful would be an understatement, as we have won the Stanley Cup, and we yet again have another fairly solid draft to our credit. Now, I am going to end the episode here, because we have a lot to do in the offseason, of course, as far as getting this team set up. We have some players that we have to re-sign. I'll actually give you the full look at the UFA scope. Likens, Graves, Aronson, McDonald, Finley, Roberts, and Carter. RFAs include Chelios, Dick, Horkoff, Kaufman, Delzato, Reefers. It's going to be a somewhat tricky offseason, so now's the best time to end it. We'll refresh and get things going in the next episode. For now, that'll do it for this one. Because as I mentioned, this series will continue. Just because we won the Cup doesn't mean we're stopping. Not at this point. It's 2030. We still got some years to go. Let's turn this team into a dynasty. We still got to win a Cup at the AHL level. We got a lot of plans. A lot of big plans. And let's be honest, I'm not ending this series until Frederick McDonough is retired, basically. I refuse to end the series as long as he is a player that we have at our disposal. So, again, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what you can do to support the video and the channel as well. Links are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. Give me a follow on both of those platforms if you have not already done so. Twitter's great for updates. Twitch is great because, hey, then you know when I'm live streaming. I live stream often later Eastern time, hours, and such. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. But I'm going to bed as a Stanley Cup champion. I'll catch you next time.